welcome to a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? 17 years in prison. You know, I'm feeling pretty good, 34 years old. So what have I learned? I've learned in my time quite a bit, you know what I'm saying? I learned that it's all about self-development, self-healing, cultivating the power of Yahweh, the power of God, the higher power within you. But it's also about finding a system that works for you. It's about healing those things inside of you that weren't exactly perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's about honing yourself and making yourself a better person. It's about continued fusion. That's what I like to say. That's one of my favorite statements, is continued fusion. Because you're continually fusing the body, the mind, with the spirit. And the way to this path is non-resistance. So, out of all my time, I have found out what this non-resistance is and what the components of non-resistance are and how you form this non-resistance in your mind and in your body. The problems today with the world that I see is that people are having a problem with this continued fusion, the state of fusion. You know, they're either living in the flesh too much, or they may be living in the mind too much, causing a mental condition. You know what I'm saying? But it all has to be led by the Spirit. As Yahshua, Jesus Christ, says in the Gospels, he says that a man will either serve Mammoth, which is the flesh, or he will serve Yahweh, which is the Spirit, the perfect Spirit. So actually, in all actuality, what we are trying to accomplish, you know what I'm saying, is what they call Shekinah, the presence of God within self. And God can't come into a temple that is defiled. God can't come into a temple that hasn't been perfected. So the first work of order is to perfect the temple. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be, or you have to start out in the state of purity, but it means that you must purify the temple. You must purify and dedicate the temple to God in order for the Shekinah, the presence of God, to come inside of you and to work inside your life, therefore bringing perfection. So this is the concept that I think is the most valuable concept that I've learned, is this continued fusion, the fusion of the body, the mind, and with the spirit. And this is a progress and work. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but it takes work. But you have to be present for the work. You can't expect for the work to do itself, because it doesn't work like that. Eventually, you know, in our lives, we come to the point where we've bottomed out and we have to pick ourselves back up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this could lead to addiction. Sometimes this could lead to destructive relationships with people. It's all types of different things that is our rock bottom, or when we have bottomed out. But you see, the thing about bottoming out is that you cannot go any farther down. You can only go up. So it's just the fact of climbing out of the hole. It's not always an easy task, especially if the hole that we dig is a deep hole, you know. And sometimes this hole can consume people. And it does consume people, and it causes them to die. The past is dead. That's what one thing you have to realize, is we cannot go back. We cannot fix the problems of yesterday. The only thing that is available to us is the present moment. And in the present moment, we can fix what we have wrong in the past, meaning that if we live in this moment, you know what I'm saying, we can make changes to ourselves right now. And those changes can have an effect that causes what they call magnetism in the universe, and it brings about the kind of life that we want. But a lot of times people will pray for something and they don't really understand what it is that they're praying for. You know, they'll want money, but they don't want to sacrifice the time, effort that it takes in order to accumulate the money and keep the money. So, and then they end up getting the money and they go broke eventually, because it's a lot of work. Nothing in life is free. It is a toil, and you wake up every day and you toil to stay one. You toil to stay one with the higher power. And so in this, I have found healing from myself that I wish to share with as many people as possible, as the greatest work is, of course, yourself. But there is a greater work, is that helping others through your example. And this is what I wish to do, and hopefully that I can eventually accomplish this, because this is my goal and my mission. My name is Gabriel RaU, and from this day forward, I will be putting together something for everyone, a system that I feel like is effective, and I will go through my positive past experiences as well as my present understanding, and hopefully we can grow all together as one. Amen.